Hi, I don't know what's funky. Oh, there we go. The color looks like it's clearing up. I think the orange in my shirt is throwing off the camera. Anyway, happy unpaid Labor Day to all who celebrate. If today is a difficult day for you, for whatever reason, the only appropriate response is, that sucks. I'm sorry. Let's get donuts. Donuts, nachos. Ask Ann Rich for the recipe for the margarita and nachos that she had on Friday night. That is guaranteed to make you feel better. Those looked amazing. Hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. I'm going live a little bit early tonight because my family is letting me go do hot yoga at my favorite studio and then feed myself sushi and then fall asleep probably absolutely stinking wet in the middle of the floor, but that's fine. It's my day, and I'm going to do that. I hope you are having a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, no matter what you're doing. But I tell you, who's having the best week of all of us? Everyone but Team Runs for Donuts, because my God, those ladies were on their feet a lot Monday through Thursday. Adrian ran 106 miles in that 4-day period. Amanda Williams, on a newly reconstructed knee, did 70 miles and got her 100-mile medallion. Between the fair lets you add up what you do year to year. They say, well, it's technically a 12-month period, so it all counts. And I love that. She got her medal. And Melissa Heiser did oh my gosh, I just had it in front of me and it shut. Melissa Heiser did a whole lot. I think it was 50 miles. And I'm probably wrong now that it's coming out of my mouth and I can't find the exact number. It's on our Instagram page. Go check out our Instagram and you'll see at Fitness Protection LLC all the bragging that we did throughout the week. Also, a huge congrats to Erin White for a 9-minute PR at the Sugarloaf Half up in Maine. And I got to say, it's not all about the time and it's not all about faster, better, faster, better. But every once in a while, when you go faster, it's kind of an amazing feeling, and we are going to celebrate that. So, shoot, well done, Erin. That's awesome. Only had one question tonight, and it ties into the message I wanted to send. Hi, between life injuries and long COVID, long COVID's hard. It's been a really long time since I've run regularly. I know that feeling. I'm finally at a point where I'd like to ease my way back in. I was planning on following Rebuild, but I recently read an article about how exercise could trigger long COVID exacerbations, and I'm nervous at starting at even that level. Can you suggest a 1 to 2 week ease up to the first week of Rebuild? So, and I don't want to dampen the party for anyone. I am still recovering from long COVID. And I say that lovingly because it did a number. I mean, I had it over 18 months ago, and it really did a number on my cardiovascular system and my metabolism, and I'm still trying to unwind it. The thing that has been most effective for me up to this point has been yoga. Restarting a regular yoga practice is really, it's calmed down my central nervous system. I'm sleeping a whole lot better. I can tell that my body is responding to it in a variety of ways, most notably my metabolism. A lot of the inflammation in my belly is gone. At the same time, I'm not yet running the way that I want to. So I don't want to give you any, well, number one, I don't want to sell you on yoga because I'm not a yogi, and it's not for everybody. I get that. Yoga was never a thing. Yoga was a thing that I did because it was something I thought I was supposed to do as a runner. It was never something that I loved. Now I've kind of gotten to the point I need something I can do as frequently as I was running, and I was running about 6 days a week. And the only thing that you can do almost as much of is yoga. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing so much now. If you look at my training piece, you'll see sometimes I do it 3 times a day. Booyah. But I tell you that to tell you this. It really depends on your body, how severe your COVID was, how severe the long COVID was, and how long it has been, since long COVID ended in your body. And there's no good way to measure that or know that. So keep this in mind. I know this feels like a long, meandering, indirect answer, and it's going to have to be. The first thing to keep in mind is what inflammation is. So COVID attacks the capillaries and the blood vessels primarily, which is why many of us who are hospitalized with breathing problems, it is presented as though it's an attack on your lungs, but it's really an attack on the oxygen delivery mechanism in your body. This is why exercise can be a huge setback. and make it feel a whole lot worse than it actually is, because your body literally in its place it can't recover. It's kind of like when you have a hangover and you drink all the water and your body can't process all that water and you just get real dizzy and have to pee a lot instead of getting less hungover. It's kind of like that. So more exercises or harder and faster is not going to make you more healed. It's just going to make you aware of how sick you still possibly are, or how much damage you're still carrying around. The magic number, and this has always been factored into the 140 level. If you remember back, all the explanations I've ever given about why 140 is that over 140, where the odds of you using more glucose than you are oxygen just get higher and higher and higher the further you are above 140. Well, the work level, where your body is starting to create inflammation, the swelling of the tissues, the holding on, the retention of the water, the tearing of the muscles, all of that happens above 130. All of those cardiovascular changes that give you a more developed cardiovascular system happen over 130. That causes inflammation. With long COVID, your body is unable to eliminate inflammation because it's already in a pretty inflamed state. So you might find yourself each time that you go above 140, your heart rate jacks up really quickly, or your heart rate can get up to 130 just from walking. If your heart rate gets up to 130 just from walking, I advise you not to run, because any type of running, even the slowest shuffling and jogging, it's gonna be, your body's just not gonna be able to recover from it. And you're going to get frustrated and do a cycle of, well, like if I can't go as fast as I want, I will do what I want to do for 30 seconds. I will do what I want to do for a minute, since I can't do what I want to do. And I fell into this trap. Most of the other people in my long COVID sport group fell into this trap of, since I can't get what I want, I'm going to do what I want, and I'll just deal with it because I'm not getting better no matter what I do. And all we were doing was setting back our recovery. I still don't know when I'll be able. It might be a couple of years before I can run again the way that I used to. I hope, for your sake, it's sooner. I really do. As we work back up to rebuild, what I want you to do is really focus on tuning into your breathing and your heart rate. I want you to focus on developing some sort of a meditation practice. And I know that sounds hokey. I do. The Calm app is wonderful. Headspace. I don't like Andy's voice anymore. I used to really love Headspace, and now I think I'm just headspaced out and I needed something different. And I get a whole bunch of different voices on the Calm app. Jay Shetty is my current favorite. But just doing some sort of a grounding exercise, and there are lots of really great ones that can lower your heart rate when you're out and you're working and you're frustrated. Developing, playing around with Jay Shetty's 3-minute practices, those can be really powerful because they take both sides of your brain and distract you in a really great way. That can be, in effect, if not relaxing, it does cause some relaxation in spite of yourself. So let's try to develop a habit. Ask yourself, what do I have time and bandwidth to do? For one, try to set aside at least 30 minutes a day to do something. And let's start off by a walking practice. If you're already doing a walking practice, cool. Let's extend it to 45 minutes and then an hour before we start trying to incorporate any running. Because that, if your heart rate's getting jacked up real quickly, I think spending an hour of work at 130, you're getting some inflammation, but not a whole lot. Your body is probably going to be able to deal with that, and you will see gains from it. You're not going to build a lot of muscle, but your cardiovascular system will not be overly taxed to the point that you'll have a setback in your COVID healing journey, and we'll see some gains. So trying to find that sweet spot where we're doing something and we're not just sitting still is going to be really tough. Pilates is really good to add as much as you can. I know a lot of people love Orange Theory. For this, I think it's really too hard. I think CrossFit or lifting weights is going to be too much strain on your body right now. We need to find the easy thing that you can do a whole lot of. And that's, for me, it's been walking and yoga with little bits of jogging and trotting tossed in. And that's exactly what I would advise you to do as well. I hate it. I do. Carrie's a yogi. Yoga is the thing that I do while I get back to doing what it is that I want to do. And I hate delivering this message. I really do. But it truly is your best bet for now. As we ease back in, you'll know when it's time to go and do a little bit more. But let's get a month under our belt of trying to walk 5 times a week, 30 to 60 minutes, not going really hard, but going with intention and purpose, trying to keep that heart rate under control, noticing how hard we're breathing, if it's hard to breathe, if maybe we need a little assistance there. And then most of all, let's talk it out in office hours and talk about what other options might be available to you if you're like, well, I hate this and I'm not doing that. And that's fair. Okay. The other thing to remember is we're opening up another TipToe through the summer program, and that's going to be opening up. We already have one participant through the door. We need a few more. That's going to be opening up the last week of May, first week of June. We got another 2 weeks, I think, before that starts. I don't even want to look at the calendar. About 2 more weeks before that starts, and that would be a really great program to do with this because there's a lot of walking that does genuinely turn into jogging much later on, but that might be that slow build that you're looking for. And there's a coupon for $25 off the purchase price. If you cannot find it in your inbox, email me and I will give it to you. All right. Hope to see you in office hours this week. You're coached. You are loved. Whether you feel like celebrating today or whether you just don't want to talk about it at all, I promise you, you are winning at life. Mwah! See you next week.